Welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Thunder 2004 modded career mode. If you guys missed New Hampshire, come on. You really missed a good one. That was a banger. You can't lie and say it wasn't. So we're going to go ahead and run it back. This time in Pennsylvania. For the Pennsylvania 500, the second of two Pocono races every single season, because that's how NASCAR does things. For whatever reason, and it always happens after like 6 weeks. So I don't know why, but here we are again. And then we got the Brickyard after. But just a quick status update on the points. I'm 46 points back from Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And that's not good for me. I got to catch up. And they can't run away from me again. If they do, I'm in some trouble. So last episode, we decided not to do any more upgrades on the cars that we already have. We have 4 cars, obviously. We're not going to do any upgrades on them. This was a personal decision to not upgrade the cars because I do want to see if we can potentially get $1.5 million in a decent amount of time so that we can move forward with upgrading our engine shop. I think our engine shop in season 3 will be really important. So we really can't, we can't falter here. We have to do this, okay? Good news is, Pennsylvania 500. We do have really good cars for Pocono. So we're going to run a speedway track, obviously, but we're going to run the same chassis as we did at New Hampshire. I want to save the best, stuff for Indianapolis. In terms of the motor, this is a power heavy track. So I think honestly, motor 3 might be a better decision with the efficiency engine being like 59 over a 60. We can probably save our best motor for, which is engine number 4 for the super speedway, or Indianapolis, which is fine. And then of course we're gonna use the same body as before because I want to save the best equipment for Indy crown jewel race. I want to win the Indy 500. Yeah, that's pretty much my rationale behind this decision. Let's go qualify. So I'm using the same setup I did 6 weeks ago. So you guys will see me run it very high in gear 3. Down into gear 4. Car got wicked loose there. I'm not sure why, but it's okay. I don't think we lost too much going into turn 1 and 2 with that little bobble. Through 3 and 4. And coming up off of 3 to 4, or sorry, I said 4. Coming off turn 3, down the straightaway. We got pole. We're right on the grip line for Pocono 3. Coming down to the straightaway. Let's get it all the way up there. 50.479. Fast lap. Let's go.
Welcome to Pocono Raceway, located in the heart of the beautiful Pocono Mountains for today's Pennsylvania 500 on MRN. And Barney, there are a few unique twists to this 2.5-mile tri-oval.
Unique is definitely the word for this racetrack. First of all, there are only 3 corners, each of which has completely different banking, which also means there are 3 straightaways. And guess what? They're all different lengths. This is one tough racetrack to prepare a race car for.
The MB&A car is going to be a force for the championship with his impressive finishes.
Oh yeah, to have an average finish in the top 10 for the season is mighty impressive. It can often be the difference that wins the championship.
Casey Mears is another young open-wheel driver making his way into stock car racing.
He didn't even make his first start in NASCAR until 2001, and now here he is in Winston Cup. His car owner certainly thinks he has a lot of talent to move him up that quickly.
Terry Labonte has been called the Iceman because of his cool demeanor under pressure, but maybe the nickname Iron Man is more appropriate.
You know, that's right. Labonte set a record for consecutive race starts with 655. That's over 20 years without missing a race.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
I still need to figure out what's going on with Matt Kenseth's paint scheme, but it's okay. We're gonna get swamped. I knew this was gonna happen. So if we ever have a restart, I'm gonna have to make sure it's single file. We can't go double file. No big deal. We lost a few spots. We got our championship rivals up near the front. So gonna have to make some moves to get around them. Oh, wow. Oh, they got loose in the tunnel. They did not like being 3 wide.
The 8 car is still there. Clear on both sides.
Okay. No big deal. Crisis averted. I think we're going to lead the first few laps here at Pocono. And with our new gearing ratio that we're running, I'm running a trick gear system, you know, bringing back the old school. So for those who watched early NASCAR, you know, at Pocono, you guys remember that they used to use fourth gear as an overdrive gear more than anything else, because fourth was just that useless. So I'm bringing back that little bit of old school love, and if you know what this is all from, then more power to you. Well, I guess things are going to be a little boring this time around. I'll check in with you guys, well, either when pit stops start happening or something else interesting happens. Man, these 20 laps are going to fly by, aren't they?
52.
So here's a brief status update for you guys. Dale Jr.'s dropped down to 3rd. Jeff Gordon is down in 5th now, but Kevin Harvick has risen to 2nd place, and I'm still kind of just motoring along ahead of each of these guys, just kind of minding my business. Nothing much has really changed at the front here. I'm actually pulling a gap.
Go easy on those Eagles, driver.
That's the first time I went into a 4-wheel slide in that corner in a few laps. But we do got some cars on pit road already, so
Left front tire's a little worn.
we'll see how that kind of goes while I'm getting extremely tight now.
Still there.
So this was the downside of, you know, being so much faster. I caught lap traffic as they were coming out of pit road. So now these guys who are a little bit slower are actually beginning to slow me up, and the guys behind me are starting to slowly catch me. I think it's maybe that time for me to come down pit road. I got told low fuel the lap before, but I'm beginning to think maybe it is time for me to pit.
Save your tires.
Because last time we were here, I had a speeding penalty and just wound up losing the race because of that. I don't want to lose the race because of traffic being in my way. So yeah, you know what? We'll bring it down.
The leaders are coming into pit.
Oh, okay. We did it. Car is a little tight. I'm gonna make a half round of wedge down. Kevin Harvick has gotten the lead, which is fine. He's not in the main points battle between me, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jr. So I looked at the scoring pylon that I just passed, which, by the way, I love how it used to update. Come on, guys.
They can't make any mistakes here. It'll be a routine 4-tire change. They'll also put in 2 cans of gas, 4 tires of gas on this stop.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Stop down here at pit road. Look out. Traffic up high. Clear. Number 20 is gaining on you. Car high. All clear, buddy.
I think I got the fresher tires of me and Tony Stewart, so I'll be able to kind of rapidly rocket away from him here.
The 20 car up high.
Got him.
Clear all around.
Easy clear, easy clearance. Car feels much better as well with that half round of wedge out. I feel like I can actually drive it a little bit better. Oh yeah, the car is almost like butter. Right now, I can feel the butter. It was a bad tunnel. I was up way too high, but I still feel pretty good on this lap. This lap might be the fastest lap of the race so far. Running a 50.81 is almost like vindication for me. It just feels good. So I do know we're gonna get more people to come down pit road, because there's no way this race is gonna finish with the running order that it's in. We got people near the front that weren't actually at the front. So I think this is gonna be an interesting race. If there's a caution late and we got some lap traffic around me. I don't know if we're gonna actually have the car to beat him. And Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon are like 3rd and 4th. They're gonna inherit the position. I think Tony Stewart was one of those guys who came down real early, hoping for like a mid-race caution right in the middle of the pit cycle, so that he could have kind of stayed at the front. So I definitely think that it's going to be Tony Stewart going down pit road, Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. inheriting 2nd and 3rd. Which means the amount of distance I'm going to get on them in the standings is going to be marginal at best. Maybe just only 10 points, actually. It would be nice if the 7 of Jimmy Spencer was able to figure out a way to just stay there and make Jeff Gordon upset. Just take points away from Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon. That's all I'm asking for the field to do. There's a car that's blown up. Oh, that's the 43 car. Man, I cannot be getting that loose. We can't be sliding. Not through the tunnel. Or turn 3 for that matter. I'm feeling some vindication, guys. I'm feeling vindication coming. Last lap.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice.
Got way up near the wall, but I'm not too concerned about that. All I'm concerned about is bringing it home to, to the checkered flag. I don't even need to drive hard. We don't even need to drive hard. Leisure cruise. We might have lost Pocono the first time, but we ain't finna lose Pocono a second time. Victory for us. Yes. And for our new sponsors, a win. Yeah. We'll take a look at the top, top screen after I do some burnouts here. I have to, guys. I gotta. It feels so sweet. Getting another win.
Not a single caution lap was run in the whole race.
Whoa, that doesn't happen very often. It makes you pay a whole lot more for any mistakes. You don't have the cushion of yellow flags to get caught up.
The 53 car doesn't look any different than when he started this race.
Well, it's going to be a happy crew when they get back to the shop. They can immediately go to work on next week's car without having to worry about fixing anything from this race, and that makes for a much less stressful atmosphere.
The 53 car didn't do anything to improve his standing with the other drivers out there.
Should be interesting next time they get next to each other on the racetrack. At this point, nobody wants to back down, and we could see some sparks fly.
It feels so amazing to win at the Pennsylvania 500 because we should have won the first time. We should have. But you know what? It's okay because we wound up winning this time. We started on pole, we finished on pole, and we led 17 laps. And the good news was Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon didn't lead laps. As a matter of fact, it was Kevin Harvick who led 5 laps, or led 3 of those laps, which means he got extra 5 bonus points, which means those are points on offer away from Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon. Speaking of, let's look at the top 10. Tony Stewart winds up finishing 2nd. He held on. Early pit stop and everything. He finished 2nd. More power to him. Dale Jr. started 3rd, finished 3rd. Then it was Kevin Harvick who finishes 4th. Jimmy Spencer came from 21st to finish 5th. That was a dark horse pick right there, but he showed us that he could do that last time we were here at Pocono. So I don't know why it was such a surprise to see him up there. Then we got Dale Jarrett rounding out, 6th, Jeff Gordon in 7th. And I think this is a big enough gap between him and Dale Jr. for the points lead to shift ever so slightly. I think that was 19 points between the two of them. And I think it was like 11-ish points. So we should see Dale Jr. at the top of the standings going forward. Or maybe I took over. Who knows? Then is Ricky Rudd, Jeff Burton, and Mark Martin running at the top 10. A little bit further down the lineup, though, I'm not seeing anybody in particular really stand out, except for who was running 42nd, because whoever was 42nd, he was slow. Oh, okay. Wait, so it was Jamie McMurray who fell out the race early on lap 5. Okay. Then it was John Andretti. We saw that. The guy who was almost lapped at the end of the race here was Stanton Barrett. We were closing in on Stanton Barrett, who we haven't seen in weeks on the track, and Chase Montgomery finishing 40th. Okay. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as it could have been for some of these guys. Cool. Let's go back to Atlanta, celebrate our win. You want to talk about a tight points battle? You got Dale Jr. 1 point ahead of Jeff Gordon, 8 points ahead of me, and guess who's also snuck into the picture ever so slightly? You guys guessed it, Tony Stewart. He's actually underneath 180 points, which means it's now a 4-way battle for the championship with 15 races left to go in the season. That's a lot to have to internalize. He actually broke away from Dale Jarrett in them, so I can't let the 20 car lead any laps or finish any better than me. So now I've got to keep an eye ahead, but an eye behind me as well. Bang up the rest of the top 10. Of course, Dale Jarrett, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, Ricky Rudd, then is Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson. I'm not entirely sure where Matt Kenseth has decided to fall off to, but he just disappeared for the most part. He's not done so well this season, and I'm trying to figure out, well, why is that happening? But it's whatever. We're not really too concerned about that. But down the line, I am kind of interested to see, when was the last time we saw Stanton Barrett? He's run 11 races this season, and we've done 21 of them. So he hasn't been seen for a minute, okay? Oh, and then Kevin LePage hasn't been seen in a while because he's only run 13. So it's really a mixed bag of drivers down here. Christian Fittipaldi still being in 40th in the standings ahead of John Andretti just kind of shows, what it was all about when he was still running some races. Getting that top 5, top 10, probably helped, but he got enough points so far on offer. So he's only run 12 races, and John Andretti has run 8. So that's 20. So John Andretti missed 1 race as well. But John Andretti hasn't done extremely well yet. I hope he'll kind of come into that car a little bit more. That's what I'm hoping for. Well, we don't have anything to do within the shop. We just got to kind of keep a running tab of what our cost cap is. So after New Hampshire, it was 672. Wow. My, reading comprehension skills really failed me there. Sorry about that, guys. I feel kind of bad that I was so bad at understanding what was what. So we had $672,000 to work with. Now we got 942 after Pocono 2, which means we're done with Pocono finally for the season. And that leads us to Indianapolis next. If you like today's video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. We're not going to do any work on the car. I really need to try to get as much money as possible over the next few races. That way we can move forward with Operation Get Ready for year 2025, which is improving our engine shop. It's about time we do that. And I need to put as much money towards that as possible. So I got to get 1.5 million. So that's why we're not doing any extra work on any of the car pieces, at least until we get that purchase out the way, because that's a big purchase and it's going to take 6 races time. So I want to try to make sure we get that in before we wind up having to end the season. That's why we're holding off on spending any money. So now I'm a little bit more in the management aspect of these things. So we'll see how that kind of goes. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Be easy, everybody.